Hi everybody, welcome back. I thought I'd come on and talk to you about, noticing the changes in your work and where to go from there, because it's easy to do things that are, let's say, straightforward. Like you can create, say, an abstract painting, but then halfway through it, I always have the trouble of which way do I go from here and which way do I go from there. Now, although I'm only doing like a semi-abstract painting at the moment, I just wanted to point out to you from these watercolour things I've been doing, the importance of displaying your work just for yourself. It's literally only for myself, so that you can notice the changes. So I'll turn the camera around and just show you now. Hi, so as you know, I did this watercolour course. I've done watercolour for years, but this was just like a refresher course. So, I'm just trying out different styles and methods with it now. So here were some of the things that we did at first. These leaves, I've shown you these before. And they was more aimed at a little bit realistic, but not realistic. Just kind of like going in with your permanent marker. I'll just get one to show you. I show them you all the time. These micron graphic pens here, look, they're fine liners, that's what they are. And what you do with them, you draw lightly your figure or whatever it is that you want to draw, and all you do is then with a fine pencil, and then you go over that with that fine liner, and then it becomes permanent. You let it dry and then rub out your pencil, and then you're ready to paint. And then you can pop on your water and experiment with your colours. Now on the wall we did do a little bit thing about secondary colours and everything else. I do quite know my art, my colour theory, so I've done it so many times with Louise and watched Louise and everything, with acrylics. But it's the same principle actually with watercolour, only we're taking more away and adding more and things like that. So I just wanted to show you, look, I've displayed these like this. They're literally just taped onto the wall. It's like a bit of a shelf. I could do with a proper shelf actually to put them on. And I've been coming down here, been doing all these figures. These ones are on different paper. That's why they're not so good. I'm not after an end result anyway. I'm just playing about at the moment. These were what I've taken out of my sketchbook and put in on the wall so that I can see them. But the very first thing that I did was, just myself without a course, was this silly little dog on the end. So I want to show you some rubbish things I did, as well as some not so rubbish. And then I moved on to this one, and I was really pleased with this one because this developed a lot of mark making and splatters used in different ways, and the dots in the front and the lights going back and things like that. So that was something that then developed onto this one, because the splatters, then I was doing them like you've seen me doing the Neuro art. They've splattered out and splayed out in that way and this way in different directions, turning it round and splattering across. It's not, and then some heavier splatters on top of that, some letting them run in and some not. So if you look at this bird here, yes, he was overdone. I wasn't thrilled with this bird, but it's still okay. It looks like it's created lots of movement behind him. And what I typically like is that I brought the red off of the bird and down onto the background. So if you were doing background, like wash, it would show up really nice on that. And then as I went on to this one, and I developed the blues. I do prefer to use a blue background for building up my layers. Although on all of these here, I used a brown background, that rusty colour background, to have a go and see what it feels like. But I still prefer this colour and this effect that it gives you. And if you look back on my last video or the video before, I can't remember, you can see that the underlayers when you put an underlayer underneath it of this blue, it gives it a better base to me. I quite like this one because of the movement that I created, that it looks like it's all dripping down from the strawberry or piece of fruit or whatever it is that this little squirrel is eating. Although he looked like a mouse, don't forget I've not done animals before, so this is all new to me. So I'm trying to develop this style and bring it along. This one, too much detail on this and too dark, but still the same squirrel, but putting a hat on him this time. His eyes were too big, and yeah, there was lots of different bits and bobs on that I wasn't over thrilled with. And then on this one again, he was okay. Lots of movement there. Looks like he's been swishing his tail, and he's got all sorts of bits of water coming off of him. I like the abstract feel that I get from using these splatters to convey movement. This is my favourite so far, and this looks like a lot of people have said, sorry about that, I had an interruption. A lot of people have said it looks very Beatrix Potter. I suppose it does in a way. I'm very flattered by that, but it wasn't intentional. But what I liked mostly about this one is the way that I've used that splatter ink on the top of their head here. So noticing the changes in your work is really important. I like this red mark being here. Again, a big splatter of red paint it was, and that's why I put it in that one, but I like it as deep as that. So next time I probably would put it as deep as that on that one. So this is why it's important to look back at your work. Look at this squirrel here, that particular red splatter there. That's put on dry paint. So all the others is like wet on wet, but that one was put on dry. I just kind of dampened it just a little bit, but put it on very thick and heavy. This one, I did more multicoloured ones. I quite like this one just because of, I just like this angry bird, you know, this is an angry cockerel named Roo, and he's actually stamping his feet because he's annoyed with something. And this is all kind of starting to build up a bit of a story. And then this squirrel, it looks like a bit like a cat. Doesn't matter. Again, I'm still practicing, drawing my sausages and creating these animals. If you want to really learn how to draw animals by creating them, by drawing them like sausages like I do, or shapes, then pop over to Bob Burridge. He explains that really, really well. And he does it with figures, so that's nice. This one was just one that I did on the course. This one I really, really liked, but I'm going to go back in on this one because I want that one to be really red now on top. Just the same as the one I've just shown you on that mouse there. So that mouse splodge there, I want that there now on top, which will just finish that bird off just nice and give it the depth. But you can see there on the other bits how that they were all nice and calm. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, going from this all the way across to this and keeping going with these, I'm not trying to show my work off. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show you how I've developed my work. And from this, if you wanted a more calm effect, you see, what I've been doing is this calm effect. I do that when I first develop the animal or the figure or what it is. So I do it like in calm colours like this, and then I build the layers up. So you can see there how that's built up. Can you see? And it's the same with this one. It started out calm. When they start out calm, they look a bit more realistic. But I don't know whether I want them to be realistic, semi-realistic, semi-abstract. Who knows? Who cares? It's just my style, and that's how I like it. But it is good to have them all displayed like this, and you can see where I've come from and where I'm going and all that, and right across the wall, and you can see how it's all developing, and that's what's important. These are all experiments. And, you know, or they might look like finished pieces to other people and say, oh, why do you try to do a finished piece? I don't try and finish it. I mean, I could go back into this chicken now and do loads more work to him, but I'm not. I've left him because that's all that I want. That's all that I want to do on it, because I'm looking for a technique and a way of bringing in this colour that I like so much in with all my splatters and my mark making. So it's like trying to bring it all together. I talked to some people on Facebook already, and what I'm thinking of doing is working my way up to doing like a little children's book. I don't know whether I'll be able to get to do that, but if I don't, these images would be good enough to have them printed and make them into cards, so they wouldn't get wasted, or I can just leave them in a sketchbook, you know, and just move on. But at this moment in time, yes, I'm enjoying doing them. So they're all on the wall there. And then across here, look, an untidy bench. And then I've still got my big drawing here, look, that I'm still working on building that up as well. I have to be in the mood, but when I'm not in the mood to do black and white, I can now go across and I can do colour. Another good thing is, like, standing back from the back of the room here, I can see if I've got enough contrast, and that's another good thing. You can't see your contrast so well when you're close up, so it is important to stand back. So get your work out if you can and put it all around you. I do believe in doing that. And also take photographs and photocopies of things and put those all around you. And then when I walk up now and I'm in my little studio like this and I come up my stairs, I feel the feeling of, yes, I'm in that world. I'm in that frame of mind again, and I can pick up where I left off. If my book is closed, it's on the table and it's closed, it's closed. I've then got to flip through it to see what I want to do and what I don't want to do and things like that. And it's like, it's closed away. So it is important, I think, to have your work around you. I've still got these up on the wall because they inspire me for my effects. This effect here, this particular one here I like, and these will be what I'll be using as backgrounds eventually for these. And that's why I've picked these colours. So, but they'll only be like a small area. So it's building them up. Like I said, I wasn't over thrilled with that robin there, but I was thrilled with this one. I like his positioning, he's looking up, and, you know, he's pointing upwards, and I like the daisy at the side, and this was taken from the photograph, so, yeah. Okay then, so I just thought I'd come on and tell you the importance of having your work out and around you. Okay then, bye for now.